Hello, soulmates. Welcome to the Honest Academy. Please, if you've not subscribed, this is the right time. Okay, so we're making a cage art, and this is the pattern we're going to be using to make the cage art. Now, the width of the paper we're using is 28. You could use 27, you can use 26, but in this case, I chose to use 28 for the width of the paper. That's how wide I want the cage at 28. Okay, now the length of the paper I used 8. That's 28 by 8. You can make your own choice. You can use 7, you can use 6. So this is 28, and the height of it, this is the width, right? And the height of it is 8 inches, as you can see, 8 inches. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to locate the midpoint of this 28 inches, and that should be around 14, right? Locate the midpoint, mark it, and then mark the edges of the paper. Remember, I said we're using the whole of the paper is 28. So from the midpoint, I'm going to mark the edges like this on both sides of the paper or the pattern. So from that midpoint at the up, I'm going to be coming out 2 inches on both sides. From the midpoint, come out 2 inches on the left hand side, 2 inches on the right hand side. I hope that is understood. 2 inches, and the other side 2 inches. Okay, so I'm going to use my curve to connect the lines like so. I hope you can see it properly. I hope it makes sense to you. Please, if you've not subscribed to this video, kindly do so. So this is what we have, and we're going to repeat same at the other parts. Okay, if you have any question, please do well to ask. So I'm going to be highlighting this line so that it will be more visible to you. Exactly, and like that. Yes. Okay, so this is what we have, and we're going to be cutting it out. So this is it, and this is what we're using to cut our fabric. Now it's your choice to either make it on both sides or make it just one. I actually made on both sides, right? You can also decide to make it just one side of your corset. Okay, now in this case I did not use any lining. So if you're using Ankara like this, you might decide to just make it one, or you can equally decide to make a lining for it, whichever one. So what we did here is to divide the paper in the middle, and from the middle I'll go back by 4 inches, then from there another 4 inches, right? So that is how I divided the paper into 5 places, for 4 inches um, at the middle until the paper is done. So I transfer the lines to the fabric, and on these lines I'm going to be sewing my what is it called again, bias. And this bias is where I'm going to be inserting my boning. I hope this is making sense to you. Okay, so I'm going to be sewing the bias on these lines that I transferred to the fabric, and of course this should be done on the right side of your fabric. on the right side of the fabric, not the wrong side. So I'm going to be extending the lines. I hope this is actually making sense. I don't know if you understand what we're doing here. I hope you understand. Merely following the pictures, you should understand what is going on, right? So I said the intervals between the lines is 4 inches from the middle of the paper for 4 inches backwards, right? Then mark these lines and sew your bias on top of each of the lines, and that will serve as your casing for the boning. So this is how I'm going to be sewing it. Hooray, we are done sewing. Under the upper part there, you can see that I also sewed my bias, and to finish it up I just bent it over. Remember I said no lining on this. So I'm going to be inserting the boning on the vertical lines as well as on the horizontal line. Remember we have one horizontal line there, which is the upper part. That's the bias at the upper part that is curved. So I'm going to be inserting my boning in all the lines. I hope this is understood. Okay, now we do not want the boning to get to the edge. You're going to cut it like half inch before the edge of the fabric, and that is because we're still going to sew another um, bias at the upper part, including the fact that we need sewing allowance there too. Okay, so after inserting the boning, or this is what we have, right? We're still measuring to insert all the places, to insert the boning in all the lines, and making sure that it doesn't get to the edge as promised. Okay, so this is what we have. You can see that none of the bone is at the edge of the fabric, and of course I've sewn another bias at that upper part. You can see it, also keeping an allowance for my joining to the main fabric, or finishing the mouth of the cage art very neatly. So the next thing we're going to do is to be inserting the plastic bone. This is a plastic bone that cannot be sewn on top, and that's why we need to make a casing for it. So if you have the Regeline bone, there's no need for casing, you just have to sew it straight up on your fabric. So this is what we have. It's just remaining one part that we need to insert the boning, and boom, everything is going to be wow. That is the lower part. Okay, we're going to insert the boning there, and you're gonna see the magic happen. Make sure everything is properly finished. Make sure everything is properly finished, especially when it belongs to someone else. Even if it's yours, try as much as possible to make sure that your sewing is properly finished. No matter the time it will take. Wow, wow, just wow. This is what we have. Do you like it? So I'm going to do this for the other parts if I want it to be two. Okay, and then show you how to insert it. Now at this point, this is how it's going to be. You can use a hemming gum to finish the mouth and then bend it, and then use your needle and thread to tack it to the main bodice, right? Or you can use a bias to finish it. However, In this case, I used a hemming gum to finish the edge, bend it over like this, then use my needle and thread to tack to the main clothes. And of course, you can testify that it's actually looking so beautiful. Okay. Okay, so at this point, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not subscribed to this channel bringing you all these beautiful tips, I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay, so please go ahead to subscribe to this channel and watch out for more videos. So this is we trying to fix it, trying and trying and trying. Okay, okay, all right. This is the other part. So after now, I'm going to finish the second part. All right, see ya. Have a beautiful time.